Hi there, welcome to Two Birds. I'm Fiona, and today's class is a special request from Bryony in London, who has asked for a longer class, and today I'm shooting a 75-minute Vinyasa flow class with less detailed alignment cues. It's a full body flow which includes standing postures, twists, hip openers, and even some time for some inversions. I offer some modifications throughout the class, but it is quite a flowing class and it moves at a steady pace. I can recommend that if you'd like to go upside down, that you make your way at home near a wall space. And of course I'll offer a more gentler version of going upside down with all the same benefits if you don't feel confident standing on your head or your shoulders or your hands. So I hope you enjoy. Thanks for joining. Namaste. And begin your practice in a comfortable seat. You may wish to sit on the edge of a blanket here, or simply lay back and take the knees out wide, soles of the feet together. Allow yourself to settle in, feeling anchored down through both your sit bones, comfortable through your low back spine, and elevating your spine so you feel tall through the sides of your waist, crown of the head reaching for the ceiling, and your chin parallel with the floor. Rest your arms, your palms, and gently shutting down the eyes. And invite yourself to really land in your body, feeling your shape, the outline, and your footprint. Make any final subtle adjustments to your posture so you feel at ease and steady. And settling your gaze toward your third eye, between the eyebrows, in toward the center of your head. And resting your awareness on your breath. And without adjusting it or influencing it in any way, just simply observe. Feel the ebb and flow of your breath. And from here we'll practice some box breathing, or otherwise known as square breathing, a technique that is very helpful for reducing stress, calming the nervous system, and promoting energy levels. And in this practice, we breathe in for the count of 4, pause and hold the breath for the count of 4, exhale, count of 4, hold and pause the breath for the count of 4. We'll do 6 rounds, and I'll talk you through just one round so you can just find your own rhythm. And if at any time you feel any tension between the eyebrows, or the breath count doesn't work for you, just simply adjust it Keep it even. Stay calm. Wherever you're at, empty your lungs. Breathing in, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Breathe out, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Continue on. Bringing your breath into balance. Staying relaxed in your body. And feeling the even cadence of your breath. And very simply counting your breath, concentrating on the flow of your breath, fortifies your concentration. Creates clarity. And allows you to focus. So you can begin your practice very calm and grounded. And just take one more round here. And returning to an even breath, natural pauses in between your in-breath and your out-breath. Just let your breath flow now. And you might find that you naturally now have a more even breath. You feel more spacious in the lungs. And there's a meditative tempo. And if you haven't already, begin to breathe an Ujjayi breath, emphasizing a gentle contraction at the back of the throat. And beginning to breathe with sound. And take 3 more rounds of breath here. And as you breathe out, draw the chin in toward your chest, eyes to the back of your eyelids, and gently blink the eyes open. And just notice how you feel at the end of that breathing practice. And we're going to move forward and come to kneel here. So if you're laying back, just gently roll to your side, make your way up. So sitting back on your heels, tops of the feet, flat on the floor, and if your knees don't like deep flexion, you can stay in your cross-legged seat or place your blanket underneath your buttocks, top of the heels. lifting up through the sides of the waist, finding good posture in your upper body, fingertips down by your side, and as you breathe in, send your arms up overhead, and as you breathe out, just bring your hands to your heart center. Arms up overhead, now lift the hips above your knees, reach up, maybe a little back bend, and as you exhale, buttocks come down, hands to your heart. Stay low. This time as you breathe in, take your arms out wide into cactus arms. And as you breathe out, bring your arms together. Press your palms round your spine. Tuck your chin in. Breathing in, back to cactus. Elbows out wide, chest bright and open. And this time bring the arms straight, palms together, and hands over to the outside of your left knee. As you feel yourself breathe in, release the left arm diagonally back for a twist. And as you breathe out, bring your palms back together. And we'll flow back to cactus arms. Breathe in, facing forward. Bring the hands together, arms straight, and hands to the outside of your right knee. As you breathe in, right hand extends back, maybe sending the gaze back. Exhale, palms come together. Back to cactus arms as you breathe in. And exhale, hands to your heart center. This time as you breathe in, lift your hips and the arms up, perhaps the gaze up to the tip of the thumbs. And as you breathe out, place your hands down, come onto all fours. Set the knees up underneath your hips, hip distance apart, hands under the shoulders. Spread all your fingers. And take a few rounds of cat and cow, undulating through the spine, dipping the belly, lifting your gaze as you breathe in, rounding the spine, hugging your belly, breathing out. 2 more rounds just like that, widening through the collarbones, rounding and doming the spine, breathing out. Arching the spine, breathing in, and this time as you breathe out, take your buttocks to your heels, come into child's pose. We're just here for a beat. As you breathe in, up onto all fours, arch the spine, breathe out, round the spine, extend your exhale, buttocks to the heels. One more just like that, up onto all fours, arching the spine. Long, slow out breath, buttocks to the heels, arms extended, fingers spread. As you breathe in, up onto all fours there. Breathing out, downward facing dog, tucking the toes, lift your hips up and back. Keep a deep bend in the knees and emphasize length through the sides of your waist, through the reach of your arms. Feel a fullness of your breath around the ribs. Let your head hang heavy. Feel your expression soft. As you breathe in, wave forward to a high push-up. Shoulders come over the wrists. And as you breathe out, soften the knees, hips up and back, downward facing dog. Twice more, rippling forward, high push-up. Soften the knees to a hover, hips up and back, downward facing dog. Next time as you breathe in, come into plank pose and pause. Fire up the leg muscles, firm the belly, wide through your upper back as you push the floor away. Next time you breathe out, drop your knees, chest and chin to the floor. And as you breathe in, come up for a low baby cobra. Bring the ribs forward, engage your belly. And as you breathe out, peel down toward the floor. Twice more, just coming up in your range of motion, keeping a uniform arch through the spine. Peel down. We're just warming up through the spine, the hips, shoulders, even the wrists here. And as you feel yourself breathe out, roll back to child's pose, buttocks to the heels. All fours as you breathe in, and downward dog as you breathe out. Pause there, take a few breaths. Pedaling out through your heels, perhaps swaying the hips. Any movement that feels good in your body, finding that comfortable stride between the hands and your feet. And then settle yourself into stillness. 2 more full breaths. As you breathe in, gaze forward between the hands. Breathing out, bend in the knees. Step lightly forward to the top edge of your mat. Bring your feet hip distance apart there. Take an easy forward fold. You're softening your torso over your thighs. Knees are deeply bent. Very crown of your head is dropping down toward the floor. And again, feel your feet here, spread through the soles of your feet, lift and spread your toes. And releasing your hands to the floor, hang in ragdoll, let your arms go floppy. And as you breathe in, slowly rise up, stacking each vertebra as you unfurl yourself, reach the arms up overhead, send your gaze up. And as you exhale, take your hands to your heart. And maintaining that silky, smooth rhythm to your breath, we're going to start slow and start then to build some heat. So patient with your body as it warms up. Taking 2 rounds of Surya Namaskar C, lunging salute with a half flow here. Deep breath in, send the arms overhead, your gaze up. As you exhale, swan dive forward over your legs. As you inhale, Ardha Uttanasana, looking forward, legs straight. Exhale, fingertips to the floor, right leg lunging back, right knee to the floor. Reach your arms overhead as you breathe in. Hands to frame your front foot as you breathe out, step back, downward facing dog. Rippling forward to a high push-up as you breathe in, pause. Soften your knees to a hover, send the hips up and back, downward facing dog. Toes step together, back of the mat, right leg rising as you breathe in. Right foot forward in between your hands, left knee to the floor. When you're steady, arms overhead, breathe in. Hands to the floor, breathe out, step forward. Ardha Uttanasana, halfway lift. Exhale and fold. Rise to stand, breathe in. Hands to your heart as you breathe out. Second round, arms overhead, breathe in. Forward fold as you breathe out. Ardha Uttanasana, breathe in. Fingertips to the floor, left leg lunging back, breathe out, left knee to the floor. Arms overhead, breathe in. Hands to the floor, breathe out, taking your half flow, step back, downward facing dog. Rippling forward, high push-up as you breathe in. Hover the knees, ripple back, downward facing dog. Smooth and steady, toes together, back of the mat. Raise your left leg up and back as you breathe in. Left foot forward in between your hands, right knee touches down. Arms circle overhead, breathe in. Hands to the floor, breathe out, stepping forward. Big toes touch, halfway lift, breathe in. Forward fold, Uttanasana, breathe out. Rise to stand, breathe in. Hands to heart, breathe out. Another round, arms overhead, breathe in. Forward fold, breathe out. Ardha Uttanasana, breathe in. Right foot stepping back, breathe out, knee to the floor. Arms overhead, send the gaze up, breathe in. Hands to the floor, step back, downward facing dog. Breathe in, ripple forward, high push-up. Hover the knees, hips up and back, downward facing dog. Toes together, right leg rising as you breathe in. Step your right foot forward, left knee to the floor. Arms circle overhead, breathe in. Hands to the floor, step forward. Halfway lift, breathe in. Forward fold, let it go, breathe out. Rise to stand, active through the feet, reach tall. Rest your hands to your heart center as you breathe out. Last round, left side, arms overhead, breathe in. Uttanasana, forward fold, breathe out. Ardha Uttanasana, breathe in. Lunge your left foot back, left knee to the floor. Arms overhead, breathe in. Hands to the floor, breathe out, step back, downward facing dog. Rippling forward, high push-up, breathe in. Hover the knees, hips up and back, downward facing dog. Toes together, left leg rising as you breathe in. Step quietly to meet your hands, breathe out, knee to the floor, arms overhead, breathe in, lost my flow. Exhale and forward fold. Rise to stand, breathe in. Hands to your heart as you breathe out. Take a moment, close the eyes. Rest your shoulders away from your ears. Stand steady in the legs, even on all four corners of your feet. Feel the warmth in your breath. Gently blink the eyes open, send your arms overhead as you breathe in. Forward fold, breathe out. Ardha Uttanasana, looking forward, breathe in. Exhale, step back to plank pose, pause as you breathe out. Take an extra breath here, firm the legs and belly, look forward. Exhale, knees, chest, chin to the floor. Inhale, Bhujangasana, bring your ribs forward, low arch to the spine. Exhale, downward facing dog. Toes together here at the back of your mat. Raise your right leg up and back as you breathe in. Keep that same pace, same breath. Knee to the nose as you breathe out. Inhale, right leg up and back, down dog splits. Exhale, core lunge in the air, breathe out. Shoulders rock over your wrists. Inhale, down dog splits. As you exhale, right foot forward in between your hands, left knee to the floor. When you steady, reach your arms. Stay here as you breathe out, hips can lunge forward. Inhale, press your palms. And as you exhale, tip lightly forward, take a tap, left elbow outside of the right knee for a light twist. Inhale, back to center, reach your arms. Exhale, palms press, tip forward and twist. Tap the left elbow outside of the right knee, back to center, breathe in. And exhale, tap and twist. Breathe in, reach your arms. And as you breathe out, send your torso forward and your arms back, and the back knee can lift up off the floor into arrowhead. From here, we're going to step forward into chair. Your arms can sweep forward, left foot steps forward to meet the right, and then float the arms back, your torso forward as you breathe out. As you breathe in, rise to stand, take your right hand to your left wrist, and when you're at the top of your posture, take a side bend to your right. Back to center as you breathe in, dip the hips, come back to chair. And as you breathe out, press to stand, left hand, right wrist, take a side bend to your left. Back to chair, breathe in. And forward fold over your legs as you breathe out. Halfway lift, breathe in. And now step your left foot back and find high lunge. Reach your arms alongside your ears. Get steady in the feet, sink the hips, firm the belly. Same sequence, arms up, press the palms, And then lower your hands and tap your left elbow to the outside of your knee. Come back to center, breathe in. So you're just moving with your breath. Not a very deep twist, just a gentle revolve through the spine. One last time. Tap and twist. Arms reach as you breathe in. And this time as you breathe out, take your hands down, frame your foot, step quietly back, downward facing dog. Ripple forward to a high push-up as you breathe in, and either take a half flow or a full flow here, depending on your energy levels. And we'll all meet back in downward facing dog. 5 to 8 deep breaths. And staying interested, curious in the quality of your breath, quality of your movements. And bring your toes together at the back of the mat, second side, left side now. Reach your left leg up and back as you breathe in. Core lunge in the air as you breathe out. Inhale, reach up and back and try and keep the hips level. Exhale, core lunge in the air. Unhurried breath, reach the left leg up and back. And as you exhale, step the left foot forward in between your hands. Back knee to the floor, keep the back toes tucked. Reach your arms up as you breathe in. Stay here as you breathe out. Firm your right glutes, press down through your front heel. So you're going to press your palms here and gently twist as you breathe out, right elbow tapping outside of the left knee, back to center as you breathe in. Palms press, torso forward and tap to twist. Inhale, reach the arms. Last one here, twisting. Reach your arms up, frame your ears, and then as you exhale, sweep the arms back, torso forward, back knee can lift up off the floor. Next breath in, you're stepping forward to the top edge of the mat, coming into chair pose. Stay here for your exhale, send your buttocks back, firm your belly. As you breathe in, push down through your feet, come all the way up to stand, right hand, left wrist, side bend to your right. Inhale back to chair, sink your hips, weight in your heels. And as you breathe in, press to stand, left hand, right wrist, side bend your left. Back to chair, breathe in. Let it go, forward fold as you breathe out. Halfway lift, breathe in. This time step your right foot back and find your high lunge. Feet hip width apart, raise the arms as you breathe in. Press your palms and revolve, breathe out. Back to center, breathe in. We've got 3 here. Exhale, tap and twist. Emphasizing a firmness in your belly as you twist, revolving through your middle and upper back. Back to center, breathe in. Hands to frame your front foot and stepping back to downward facing dog. Take a half flow, rippling forward to a high push-up. Hover the knees, send the hips up and back, downward facing dog. Pause. Anytime you need to, please take your knees to the floor, buttocks to the heels, and rest in child's pose. Really prioritizing your breath as your guide throughout your practice. So if you feel it getting choppy, then just simply rest, return to your flow whenever you're ready. And as you rest in your downward dog, feel the base knuckles of your fingers pressing into the mat. The fingertips, your arms strong and straight. Feel the front of your thighs engaged without locking your knees. And reaching your heels heavy for the floor. Take one more deep breath in and out here. And bring your toes together at the back of the mat. Raise your right leg up and back as you breathe in. Knee to the nose, 1 time core lunge in the air, breathe out. Inhale, down dog splits. And as you exhale, step your right foot up to the top edge of the mat. When you arrive, walk your right foot over in the right lane, take your hands inside of the right foot for lizard. And just drop the back knee to the floor here. Get comfortable, making sure your right knee's over your ankle. And we're going to pulse a little here, moving through the spine as if we were in cat and cow. So here with both hands or fingertips on the floor, arch the spine, lift the chest, and as you breathe out, work toward lifting the back knee, straightening the front leg, and rounding the spine as if you're in a cat pose. Inhale, arch the spine, drop the back knee, lift the heart. Exhale, round, work towards straightening, pushing into the front foot, back balls of the toes. Arching the spine, breathe in, and rounding the spine, breathe out. And this time, place the back knee down on the floor and hug your right knee to the upper right arm and just simply circle through your right hip. Lean it out to the right side, circle back behind you and massage through the hip joint. Circle back the other way, being sure to remain relaxed in your shoulders and your head here as you move. And make your way back to center. Keeping your hands where they are, just going to walk the right foot over further to the right side. Turn your right toes out so they're angled out. Lean into your left hand and take your right hand to the inner right knee. And you can peel open onto the pinky toe side of your right foot to find a deeper hip stretch here. Another option is to raise the right hand up toward the ceiling, allowing you to lean back a little more into the twist, just giving you another shape to play with here. And finally, if you feel like you're not going to cramp in your hamstring, you can reach back, right hand to your back foot and squeeze your heel toward your buttocks. So wherever you've chosen to be, take 3 full breaths there. Really relax into the stretch. Let your breath feel full. And then releasing. So hands are going to stay on the inside of the right foot there. Tuck the back toes and stepping up into a squat pose. So your toes angle out, your heels come in, and sit down any amount on the back of the calves. So you might find that you stay a little bit more elevated and your elbows can rest to your knees, making sure your weight's in your heels and your buttocks back, abs engaged, or all the way down, hands pressed to your heart center, elbows to the inner knees. And you're resisting there a little with your inner knees to your elbows and leveraging with your arms to open wide through the chest. Chin can lightly nod in toward your chest. Feel the stretch all the way down the spine from the back of the neck to the tailbone. And then bringing the hands in front of you, toe heel your feet back to hip distance apart. Take a halfway lift when you arrive, lifting up, straightening the legs. Exhale and fold over the legs. Rise to stand as you breathe in. Sweep your arms overhead, send your gaze up, and as you exhale, hands to your heart. Arms overhead, breathe in. Dive forward as you breathe out. Ardha Uttanasana, breathe in. Exhale, step back through a Vinyasa, back to your high push-up. A low push-up, elbows pointing back. Back bend of your choice, upward dog or cobra. And a slow, long exhale, make your way back to downward facing dog. And just notice how you feel left to right side here. Take a little sway through the hips and a pedal out through the heels. And then reset. Big toes to touch at the back of your mat. Really slow, steady, unhurried pace. Left leg rising as you breathe in. Left knee to your nose as you breathe out. Make it count. Hug the belly in. Inhale, reach the left leg up and back. And as you exhale, step your left foot forward to the top edge of the mat. Take your hands on the inside of the left foot for lizard, and your right knee can drop down to the floor. Just get comfortable here. Check in with your alignment. So you're just stacking your bones, left knee over the ankle, diagonal line, right hip to your right knee. And take a little arch through the spine here, really extend your heart upwards. And as you exhale, pick up the back knee and round in, straightening through the front leg. And a few more rounds just like that, just move in your own time there. Move in a way that feels good, not overextending. Using your feet for stability. And then next time your back knee's on the floor, keep it down and hug the left knee to your upper left elbow and take some circles through your left hip as if you're massaging it with the movement. Any direction. And roll it back the other way and just notice the shape that you've made through the torso. If you can, get a little bit more open and spacious as you move. And coming back to center. And now walk the left foot over further into the left lane. Turn your left toes out. Lean into your right hand. Take your left hand to the inner thigh or knee there. And gently open your hip out to the left. So no forcing here, just being really kind and considerate with the shape that you're making. You can come onto the pinky toe side of your left foot, so the sole of your foot peels up off the floor. Left hand could rise to the sky. You can gently lean the torso back. And your final option here is to reach the left hand back for the back foot, bending the knee and bringing your heel in toward your buttocks. And with everything you've got in contact with the mat, push down so you have an upward energy through your body, a bright breath. One more deep breath in, and exhale, release. So we're going to step up into Malasana, Yogi squat, tucking the back toes and stepping forward, squatting down any amount. And for those of you who are a little bit more elevated, you could actually turn your feet forward so they both point to 12 o'clock, but your feet are quite wide. And those of you who are a little further down, the feet angle out. Doesn't matter if your heels are on or off the mat. And then from here we're going to take a twist. So those of you who are quite deeply in a squat, right hand out on a diagonal over to the right, left hand up toward the sky. Those of you who are a little less elevated, right fingertips to the floor, bend in the right knee, left hand to the sky and left leg straight. So just let it work for your body. We're taking a twist, and take one more deep breath in. And exhale, release, and switch sides. So find that same shape on the opposite side. Keep pushing down with everything you've got in contact with the mat. So you lift up, there's an upward energy, a brightness. Deep breath in, and exhale, release. So now toe heel your feet so they're hip distance apart, both toes, all the toes point forward. Hook your big toes with your peace fingers and thumbs. Take a deep breath in, straight legs, look forward, flat back. And as you exhale, forward fold over the legs and your elbows move out wide to the side. You allow your head to drop down, so your spine's just cascading down all the way to the crown of your head. Sit bones point toward the ceiling, and you feel your weight drop a little forward toward the toes. And please feel free to keep a little bend in the knees here to make that shape work for your body. And keeping the bind in the toes, take a halfway lift, breathe in. Exhale, release and fold over your legs, Uttanasana. Rise all the way to stand as you breathe in. Exhale, rest your hands to your heart center. Arms overhead, breathe in. Exhale, forward fold. Halfway lift, breathe in. As you exhale, step back, plank pose, top of your push-up. Either taking a half flow or a full flow here, depending on your energy levels. Keeping your breath as your guide, smooth and steady. Or making our way back to downward facing dog. And just notice how your body's feeling now as you've progressed through the class. Notice if your breath feels more spacious. And check in with the quality of your attention. Bring your toes together here at the back of your mat. Raise your right leg up and back just to hip height as you breathe in. As you breathe out, step your right foot forward in between your hands and come into runner's lunge. So your back knees now off the floor. Hands frame your front foot. Then keep your left hand down, send the right hand up toward the sky. And then as you breathe out, circle your right arm back and take 3 large circles through the arms. So just as we circled the hips in lizard, circling the arms here, massaging the shoulder joint. And then taking your right hand down, lean into your hands and send the right leg up and back, down dog splits. As you breathe out, you're going to step your right foot halfway up the mat over into the right lane, and you're going to spin your heels to the left. So you're coming into a modified side plank. Take your right hand up toward the sky, and as you breathe out, you're just going to lower your left hip down toward the floor. Send your right hand to point back toward the back edge of your mat. As you breathe in, you're going to send the arm up and overhead as you raise the left hip, squeeze the left side abdominals, and then lower right hand to the back edge of your mat, lower your hip. Lift and lower, and a couple more here. If it doesn't suit your shoulder here and it feels like there's too much pressure on your shoulder, just hold your side plank, skip the movement. And we're all going to windmill the right hand all the way over, frame your front foot, and then step quietly back to downward facing dog. Take a vinyasa here or pause and rest, and we'll meet you back here. So you can ripple forward to a high push-up, take your low push-up, keeping integrity in your form, smoothness in your breath, and downward facing dog. And second side coming up, toes together at the back of your mat. Same calm movement, left leg rising as you breathe in. Left foot forward, runner's lunge, breathe out. And just set yourself up, your left knee's now above your ankle. You've got a long, long stride between the feet. Lean down into your right hand. Raise the left hand up toward the sky, runner's lunge twist. Torso can lean back a little here. And then just start to circle the left arm. 3 big circles. Left hand comes to the floor, frame your front foot, and send your left leg up and back, down dog splits. As you breathe out, left foot steps halfway up the mat, over in the left lane. Spin your heels to the right, leaning onto your right hand now, left hand to the sky. So take a deep breath in, And as you exhale, lower your right hip down, send your left hand back to the back edge of your mat. As you breathe in, semicircle it overhead, raise the hips, squeeze the right side abdominals, and then lower as you breathe out. And a couple more times here. I get so confused pre-recording classes sometimes. I hope it makes sense. And next time your hips lifted, semicircle the hands to the floor. Take a vinyasa here. There's a rest coming up. High to low push-up. Upward dog or cobra. And downward facing dog. And you can either pause and rest here, or please feel free to take the knees to the floor, your buttocks to your heels, and take all the effort out of your arms now. So one way to do that is to, press the palms and take your hands to the nape of your neck, kind of walking your elbows forward, forehead on the mat. Another way is just to tuck your hands back by your feet and curl into a little ball. And naturally here, the architecture of your back just spreads and softens. Shoulder blades moving away from the midline of your back. The back of your neck can release, the back of your skull. Your breath can completely relax now. So this is a little bit of a longer class, and I am going to offer the opportunity to do some inversions at this point. And there is a very accessible inversion that you can do right here, and that is probably the best path if you would like a more gentler practice today, or you have any issues in your neck and shoulders, or you're simply not familiar or confident with a headstand or a handstand here. So to come into this gentler version, if you have a wall space, even better, but you can simply do it on your mat. If you've got a blanket, slip it underneath your buttocks so you provide yourself with a little bit of elevation, laying down on your back. Spine straight, arms alongside your body, and legs straight up toward the ceiling. So if you're positioning yourself against a wall, you take your right hip to the wall, and then sweeping the legs up the wall so you have some support, and then nestling in nice and close, buttocks toward the skirting board. And then resting your arms alongside your body, on your body, or overhead. And if you'd like to be a little bit more active here, you're proficient in your inversions. One option would be to take a headstand here, and I personally prefer the headstand version with my hands interlaced around the back of my head. I feel like it's more supportive rather than a tripod headstand where your neck is not supported. Or alternatively, you can come to the wall and practice your handstands. And I'm thinking in particular, Bryony here, who made this special request for slipping some inversions into our practice and having a longer practice. So if you're out there, now's your time. For everyone else, just taking this lovely time to be upside down, which is very beneficial for actually improving your spatial awareness of your body, and it also reverses the blood flow in your body without too much effort here. So it's very good for your lymphatic system. It rests your heart, so the blood, your heart doesn't have to pump so hard to get blood, oxygen to the upper parts of your body. And it's very good for relieving tired legs or any fatigue in the body, so it's quite restorative. So even a headstand can be quite restorative if you're more familiar with it and you have it in your daily practice. So we're just going to take another 5 minutes, really quiet here. To close your eyes if you're in legs up the wall. To focus your gaze if you're in a headstand or a handstand. Just trying to be calm in your movements. Or be still in your body. And if you do have your legs up the wall, and you feel quite comfortable and relaxed, you can stay here or split the legs out wide, flexing the toes, encouraging a stretch through the inner thighs. Another option is to take the soles of your feet together, knees out wide. And just another couple of minutes here. Really savouring your breath. And just one more minute here. So if you have been upside down in a more active inversion, finding child's pose, or an easy forward fold, just try and let go of the effort in your body here. And if you do have your legs up the wall, just bending the knees in toward you and rolling over to your right side. Any way that's comfortable here. It's always awkward coming out of this one. And we will all meet back on the mat in child's pose, positioning yourself toward the end of the mat. Reaching your arms out long in front of you, spreading all your fingers just as you did at the start of the class, and check in here as a comparison how you feel in your body now compared to the start of the class. Make your way slowly into downward facing dog. So I've got some nice hip openers here, some twists to complete our practice. You're going to take your big toes to touch at the back of the mat. Slowly, slowly raise your right leg up and back. And keep it up nice and high there. Point your right toes and gently bend the right knee and open your hip up. So your right heel is moving toward your left buttocks. Your right knee is angling up toward the ceiling. Right hip over the left hip. And as much as you can, even pressure into your hands so your shoulders stay stable and level. Let your head drop. Take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, move towards squaring the hips and come into pigeon pose. Right knee to the back of your right hand, crossing your shin in front of you and extending your left leg out straight. So you don't need to overdo it here in pigeon pose. Sometimes we can strain and force ourselves to have our right shin parallel with the top edge of the mat. It's really not necessary. You can have your heel quite close in toward your pelvis here, just as long as your right knee's on a diagonal, your toes are flexed and you're not feeling any pain or tension in the knee. So you're just making your way forward. Once you've extended your spine, you can walk yourself forward onto your forearms. You could stack your fists here or extend your arms out straight, just depending on your mobility, your range of motion. And you're finding a shape which is sustainable. So a comfortable breath, one that you can maintain as you linger here. And take another 5 to 8 deep breaths. And then gently, gently walk the fingertips back and sit down on your right buttock. Sweep the left leg all the way forward and come into Janushirsasana. The shape in your legs looks like tree pose, sitting down. Position your torso over the midline of your left extended leg. Flex your toes, reach your arms, breathe in. And exhale, forward fold. And again, any amount, just work with the body that you've brought in this morning or this afternoon or this evening for your yoga practice. Hands can rest either side of the leg. You could catch a hold of your foot or even bind your hands beyond the sole of your foot. But all the actions in your body should feel integrated. There's a lift through your spine as you breathe in. A firmness in your belly as you fold, feeling that you're long and unwrinkled through the front of your body, the back of your body. Your breath feels smooth and sustainable in the shape that you've made. And taking 3 deep breaths in and out here. As you breathe in, slowly walk yourself back, come back to upright, taking your left hand now to your right knee. For a twist, right fingertips behind you, deep breath in, lift tall through your spine, and exhale to twist. Take another couple of breaths to find your edge in the twist without forcing yourself around. Your left hand's really there just as placement. Collarbones are wide, And just really enjoy the twist. Feel the sensations it creates, how it affects your breath. And then from here, lean back into the palm of your right hand, lift your hips and raise the left arm up and back behind you, straightening through the left leg, pointing the toes, and then just slowly set it down. And from here, crossing your legs in front of you, walking over your legs, step quietly back to downward facing dog. Little pedal out through the heels should feel a little bit warmer on your right side versus the left side. And we'll take that slow sequence again on the left side now. Bring your toes together, raise the left leg up and back, point your left toes, raise the hip a little higher, then bend your left knee, left heel toward your right buttocks. So even though you can't see the shape of your body, feel into the shape, work out what pressure in your hands you need to feel level through the shoulders. Feel an opening through the front of your left thigh, or adjust subtly to find that feeling of stretch and length through the top of the left thigh. Feel supported in your low back. And then take a deep breath in. You're gently unraveling, making your way into pigeon pose. Your left knee comes to the back of the left hand. Left toes are flexed. Maybe propping yourself up onto your fingertips to adjust your hips so they feel symmetrical to the top edge of your mat before folding forward. You can do everything at an unhurried pace now. There's a feeling that you're emptying your weight down into your hips. A little bit of gravity helping along here. Your left toes are flexed to help support your knee. Your hips feel level, so you feel quite flat across your sacrum. And then a position with your arms so it feels restorative and relaxing. And take about 5 to 8 breaths here now that you've arrived. And as you relax even deeper into this posture, think about your mouth, your teeth relaxing, softening. Your shoulders, your palms. And then very slowly peeling yourself up, sitting down on your left buttock, sweeping your right leg around to the front. Janushirsasana, head to knee pose. And facing your torso over the midline of your right leg, right kneecap, right toes point toward the ceiling. Take a deep breath in, reach your arms up. And as you breathe out, take a few breaths to make your way into your stretch. Keep pressing your right leg into the floor or mat beneath you so it stays active. Both sit bones pressing down. It's a mild twist through the spine. Hamstring stretch, lengthening the muscles through the back body as well as your spine. So just thinking about all those parts of your body, see if you can even out your effort. Notice which sensations or the temperature of the stretch where it feels the hottest in your body. And just linger for a few breaths until the temperature changes. You feel even more relaxed in the posture. And then really slowly rewind, walk your hands back and take your right hand to your left knee, left fingertips behind you. Big breath in to lift through your spine, slow breath out to twist, and all the time just keeping the collarbones wide, smiling open, your breath deep and full. So those lower ribs really lift and shift sideways as you breathe. And then leaning down into the palm of your left hand, lift the hips and just stretch out through the front of your body, right arm up and over. And then settle the buttocks down. From here, just really slowly make your way down onto your back, tucking the knees in toward your chest. Almost there. Take a little rock side to side and really feel your body land on the mat. And we're going to come into a bridge pose from here, taking your feet to the floor. Your heels quite close to your buttocks. Big toes are angled in, heels out lightly, arms alongside your body. So 2 rounds of bridge. So second round, perhaps you come up a little higher and you adjust your feet. Just first round, just check in. Take a deep breath in. As you exhale, flatten out through the low back spine. And as you breathe in, raise the hips. So you're pushing into your feet here, your shoulders, the backs of your arms to lift. Gazing down over the front of your body, over your chest. And if you can't see your thighs here, you're just trying to get the feeling that they're parallel, as if they're hugging something between them. All 4 corners of the feet are pressing into the mat. Tailbone lengthening toward your heels. And then get as comfortable as you can. Notice how it feels. Whether you have a uniform arch through your spine or it's a little pinchy in the low back. Just notice what changes you can make to make it feel more comfortable. And then take one more deep breath in. Exhale, really slowly peel down through your spine so you land back. Keep the feet on the floor. And take 2 deep breaths. Breathe into the belly so it expands. And as you breathe out, relax the belly so it melts and softens your low back. And last one here, arms alongside your body, feet a little closer toward your buttocks if you like a stronger back bend, feet a little further away if it felt pinchy in the low back. Deep breath in, exhale, low back softens toward the floor, belly engages, inhale, lift, and then find your edge. Keeping that integrity in your form, thighs parallel. Hands could interlace underneath your buttocks here, or if you're tighter in the shoulders, wrap your fingers around the edges of your mat. Just gives you something to hang on to, also to push down. So you, in all the postures, you get that rebounding energy up your body, and what that creates is a little bit of lightness and buoyancy. Even in those postures that feel more energetic and more challenging. And take 2 more deep breaths in and out. As you breathe out, slowly melt down. And go ahead, tuck your knees in toward your chest. Sway a little side to side, some small circles through your low back so you gently soften that area, those muscles either side of the spine. And then coming into happy baby, knees out wide, soles of the feet toward the ceiling, catch a hold outer edges of your feet. And without pulling or tugging, encourage the knees down toward your armpits. Rest your head back if you can. And take a little rock side to side if it feels good. And then bringing the soles of your feet together, hands to your ankles on the inside of your legs. And take a few little rock and rolls through the spine, rolling the feet out overhead, using a little bit of a momentum as you come up. We'll come all the way up and straighten our legs out in front of us for Paschimottanasana, forward fold, last posture before Savasana. Legs out straight, toes flexed, pointing toward the ceiling. Getting settled on your buttocks, reach the arms up alongside your ears, really lengthen your spine. And as you breathe out, forward fold, just creep forward with your breath. Perhaps even backing off as you breathe in. Forward fold as you breathe out. And move toward a space of less effort. Allow your attention to turn inwards. Just gently withdrawing from your environment. And when you feel ready, allow yourself to rest back in a well-earned Savasana. Lay down on your back. Allow your arms to fall away from your body, palms face up. Let your heels rest down, your toes to turn out. And if at any time this posture becomes uncomfortable, just change your shape so it feels very restful, minimal effort. Let your eyes close. And rest. And thank you so much for joining class today. I do hope that you have enjoyed this slightly longer flow, a special request from a subscriber. Thank you, Bryony. I do love a request. And I do hope that you are all keeping well, all your loved ones too. And thanks for joining. Namaste.